Hey there! So this video is a follow-up to the announcement that happened yesterday. That was not just some prank. That was actually announcing the existence of a mod that I was making over the course of like the last week of March. Um, and yeah, this video is going to just give a more official explanation of what that mod is. If you were actually paying attention in the trailer shows you some of what the mod is. The menuing that was happening in the trailer was not just... that was not video editing. That was the mod itself. And yeah, that is the custom campaign mod. I'm going to show you exactly how it works. So the mod, what it does is that you're able to take a playlist, like from this menu, you're able to take a playlist and turn it into a campaign and then load it up as a campaign in the campaign menu. So I'm going to take these boat levels and make a playlist out of it, and then I will change that playlist into a campaign. Alright, let me save this and call it Fruit Cup. For those who were curious what that link was at the end of the video, that link was actually a link to the collection that contains all of these levels. These boat levels are actually remasters of the boat levels that I originally made a while ago. And I've always wanted to make that edit because there's a little problem with those levels, and I didn't want to fix them in a way that would replace the leaderboards, so I've instead made unlisted versions of these edits, and they're edited specifically to work as a campaign. So let's go into the Fruit Cup right now. Let's go into this playlist, and there's a button that has been added to the menu now with the mod, and it's the Create Campaign button. So if I were to select this button, boom, comes up with this little pop-up menu and asks me if I want to create a campaign out of the playlist. If I click cancel, it won't do anything, but if I click OK, you'll see that the playlist is now gone from this menu. So now I gotta back out. I'm gonna back out and go into campaign, and now it is now listed in here. You might notice that there's a bunch of other ones that is listed in here, because there's actually a decent amount of levels on the workshop that kind of already work as a campaign, even if they weren't meant to be played inside of the, like, as a campaign mode. They are still... They work as a series. Like, the message, as an example, that was created by Hirochi. These 3 levels were like a mini campaign of their own. And there was also, a while back, Semtex released like this huge level pack called Minutes Assault, and some people even came up with the idea to speedrun Minutes Assault. And so they were like literally taking the playlist file and editing the XML file itself to load it up into campaign mode just so they can speedrun it. And with this mod, you would actually be able to do just that. And there's other ones out there, like Isma the Cat has made, like, you know, pretty accurate recreations of the Nitronic Rush, like the original Nitronic Rush levels, and there's like also the Recollections level set that Hayden has made. There's a lot out there. These aren't the only ones. There's other ones out there that could work as a campaign of sorts. So let me just showcase the fact that, yeah, it works. You can start playing it and you'll load up into the levels and you can play it as a campaign. Now there's a few things that you should probably know about if you plan to have your levels like played as a campaign. When you're in campaign mode, there's a few things that happen a little differently. Like if I were to go the wrong way right now, like I'm gonna turn around and go the wrong way. You hear that beeping sound? That doesn't happen when you're in like normal sprint mode, but this beeping sound does happen when you're in campaign mode. And if I were to keep going, it would, you know, start saying obey directive, you know, just like how it happened in the campaign. And there's a few other things that are like that too. Like if you're moving too far away from the track calculation, which I can't show that here, these boats levels pretty much force you on the track the whole time. But if I were to veer way off track, then that press T to reset prompt will show up on the side of the car, just like how it would in the campaign mode. And some levels don't have a very accurate track calculation, and because of that, if they're played as a campaign, they might show these prompts even when they don't want to. Like, you know when a level says wrong way, even though you're actually going the correct direction? Well, if you were to load it up as in the campaign mode, that wrong way becomes a beeping sound and obey directive eventually. So that can be an issue that crops up, as well as, seeing seeing the press reset button prompt come up even though you're still on track, just because the track calculation isn't correct. But whenever you finish a level, it's going to load up the next one, just like you were playing a campaign. Woo! Alright, so I'm not going to play through the whole campaign, because that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is just to show you that, hey, this mod exists. But there's one more thing about this mod. So you might also remember at the end of the video, in the trailer, it was my footage. Plasma Wario was the one who edited everything, which, bless Plasma Wario, they edited that video on such short notice. Like, you don't understand. It was literally edited like the day before. But let's not go into that. Let's go into what was happening at the end of the video. So at the end of the video, I go to add campaign, and this is going to be an alternative method to, well, add a campaign. So it says enter campaign link. Excuse the fact that it is like that the UI is below the campaign UI. So the plan here was to make it so you can take the link to a Steam collection of levels, and you could paste it into this prompt, and then it would create a campaign playlist just out of that. It would like, if you don't have the levels downloaded already, it'll download the levels for you, it'll put them in the correct order, and it will make a campaign out of that. Right now, the feature is not implemented. It doesn't exist yet. Again, this mod was in development like near the end of March, so I couldn't get all of the features working for April 1st, but that's alright. When I get them working, then you'll be able to just take a Steam collection link and just slap it into here and make a campaign just right then and there. And one of the benefits of doing this is that I could use the description of that Steam collection, and maybe use that as a description to the campaign. Because right now, if you were to just take a playlist and convert it to a campaign, it's going to use Nexus as a base. And so, like, when you're selecting, one of these custom campaigns, it's going to show the Nexus description. Take to the skies, upload the package to Nexus Core, and escape. Even though that's not what this playlist is. I was thinking maybe I can take a description from the Steam collection and make that the description of the campaign. And you know how like Lost Echoes and Adventure have their own icons that are displayed here? I was thinking, oh, well, maybe I can take the thumbnail from the Steam collection and use that as the image for, the campaign. I think that'd be cool. And for those who know anything about playlist editing, I was thinking, like, Nexus isn't the only mode, the only campaign mode. Obviously, Lost Echoes is its own mode, and so is Adventure, as well as the secret fourth one that you may or may not know about. And I believe that the two campaigns that can be used as a base is the Lost Echoes one and the Nexus campaign. And if the Lost Echoes one is used as a base, you actually get the Lost Echoes loading screens because they're different from, you know, the usual loading screens that you would get. And I want to make that an option somehow. I'm just not quite sure how I'm going to implement that quite yet. Again, this mod, while it is in a working state, it doesn't have all of the features that I want. So do expect more work to be done on this mod in the future. And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I have to go over. Again, I'll get this implemented as soon as I can, and whenever I can, that'll be great. I don't know when, but it'll happen at some point. And yeah, that's it. That's really it. I am rambling at this point. I hope you all enjoyed the mod. No hard feelings about the trailer. It was. I'm just glad it was able to be made. Honestly, everyone say thank you to Plasma Wario. That video would not have happened without their help. There's no shot I was gonna be able to edit that myself on time. I am such a slow video editor. I'm not. Oof. It's just not something I'm good at, and I'm glad to have their help on that. Yeah, that's all I have to talk about. All right. I'm gonna have a huge sleep, big sleep, massive sleepers.